Here's 10 minutes of useless information about Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. There is an Easter egg, the RWQFSFASXC, usually called Shadow Bonnie. It has a 1 in 16,384 chance to appear when the monitor is put down in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It is one of the rarest, smallest events in the earlier games because it does not show up as just a spooky image. If the player stares at it for about 4 seconds, the game closes. The Freddy mask doesn't fix it, but shining the flashlight makes it go away. Clicking the Freddy plushie's nose in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 honks, but it does not summon Nightmare Foxy by itself. A lot of players thought honking the noise repeatedly caused the attack. The real trigger is staring at the bed for 15 seconds without turning around. The honk just happens to take enough time to look connected. In the sister location, holding 0 and 1 in the Ballera gallery for 1 minute and 23 seconds can bring up a blue screen. It's funny because it just feels like a leftover instead of a normal Easter egg that the developers just kind of threw in there. Pressing 1 afterwards causes random counters to appear. It does not behave like a jump scare or collectible secret. It's basically a creepy hidden technical screen inside a polished game. The Five Nights at Freddy's 1 visual hallucination has a 1 in 1,000 chance every second and can happen while the monitor is up or even after the power runs out. That means they're not tied up in only camera behavior. They combined "It's me" text with distorted imagery like Black-Eyed Bonnie and Human-Eyed Freddy. They're also guaranteed when Golden Freddy appears in the office. The fact that they can look up during a power outage moment makes the game feel less mechanically safe than it looks. In Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Mr. Cupcake has a 1 in 10,000 chance to appear in the office desk when maintenance panels are used. It doesn't attack, alter systems, or change Springtrap behaviors. It disappears the next time the maintenance panel is used. That's the irony of all this. It's extremely rare, but completely useless in the game. It's the type of secret Five Nights at Freddy would only hide behind a tiny visual cameo. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has a 1 in 10 chance to show the death minigame after a jump scare, but the code was originally set so that they would only play if the puppet killed the player. That tiny detail changes the minigame. Instead of being just random lore drops, they may have once been more connected to the puppet. The final game makes that broader and easier to encounter. In Five Nights at Freddy's 4, flowers, pills, or IV drip can appear beside the bed with a 3 in 100 chance when viewing the bedroom. They're small objects, but they're huge theory fuel because they implied injury, illness, or hospitalization. Their random appearance makes them feel like flashes of memories rather than normal props. They're easy to miss because usually players are just focused on the game and trying to survive. In Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Cam 02 and Cam 10 can rarely replace their cute Freddy posters with Spring Bonnie's posters, but only if the string trap is not occupied by those rooms. The chance is only 1 in 10,000 when the monitor is brought up. That condition makes the Easter egg extra easy to overlook because the string trap's position can silently block it. It also means the camera room itself has to be available for the poster swap. The detail is tiny, but it ties the environment to the Springtrap's presence. JJ can appear under the desk in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 when a random value lands correctly, but she has no gameplay effect. She vanishes when the monitors are brought up again. Because Balloon Boy directly affects gameplay, JJ feels suspiciously useless by comparison. Her presence is almost like the game showing you a hidden character without explaining why she exists. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 has 3 rare Springtrap screens, each one with a 1 in 1,000 chance, and the closer inspection reveals William Afton's decaying body inside the suit. The third variant is especially disturbing because it shows more of the head. These screens can appear after the warning screen, after a game over, or when starting a night. They use the sounds associated with William killing the player in the end of the night minigames. It's a small visual event, but it confirms horror details that normal camera gameplay only hints at. Freddy's black-eyed, show stage stare in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 has a 1 in 10 chance when the monitor is raised, but only if Freddy is alone in the room. That condition matters because the show stage changes as Bonnie and Chica leave. The player may not notice the rule because they are usually just checking whether the characters moved. The stare can also line up with other rare camera Easter eggs. It's one of the earliest signs that the cameras are not just surveillance tools, but a horror delivery system. Paper Buddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 can activate only on night 7, starting at AI level 1 with movement chances every 5 seconds. It has no real gameplay effect, which makes the amount of logic behind it just silly. It can leave Party Room 4 and reappear on an office wall. It can even be camera stalled and stunned with a flashlight. Lots of hidden behavior for a paper plate doll most players treat as a background decoration. During the Immortal and the Restless and Sister location, a mini arena can pop out of a popcorn bowl with a 1 in 10,000 per 5 seconds chance. It's a strange place to hide an Easter egg because the player is not even in a normal survival gameplay. The show segments already felt like weird bonus scenes, so a tiny mini arena cameo is easy to dismiss. The rarity makes it something many players would never naturally see. It also makes the living room intermission feel less safe than they appear. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 can randomly show Paper Freddy or Paper Bonnie in the office with a 1 in 10,000 chance tied to the panel or monitor use. They don't attack or change any systems. They simply appear, then disappear when the player uses the panel or monitor again. If the Fazbear Fright Camera map in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is flipped vertically, it resembles Scott Calton's online avatar, Amia Dude. These are the secrets that sound like conspiracy and are fake until you see the comparison. It's not a jump scare, lore clue, or gameplay mechanic. It's more like a hidden signature built into the building layout. This is like some unusual trivia that just seems cool. Some photos around the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 bedroom and hallway were taken by Scott Calton himself. The examples include a mountain range from his time as a truck driver in West Texas, a snowman made with his sons, and a rescued mockingbird. The important part is that these were not necessarily intended as lore clues. Scott later clarified that he often used family or personal photos because they were easy to access. That makes those background details feel more personal rather than story critical. Endo02 in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 can appear in the prize corner or even on the left air vent depending on the random value. The prize corner versions can appear if the puppet has left. The vent version is rarer because it depends on the value being exactly 3. Neither placements behave like a main animatronic attack. It's creepy because it suggests spare parts can move, even when they're not part of an active cast. The hidden messages around Five Nights at Freddy's 3 newspaper include Scott saying Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were originally just nicknames. It's wild because those names become some of the most recognizable mascot names in indie horror. The same hidden text also says Freddy wasn't originally supposed to roam the diner and was only meant to get players when the time ran out. That would have made Five Nights at Freddy's 1 a completely different game. These messages are tiny and easy to ignore, but they explain the major design choices before they released. Clicking Freddy's nose on Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Office Celebrate poster makes a honk sound. It's one of those simple, secret Easter eggs, but its impact is bigger than the detail itself. Later games kept the similar honking Easter egg, turning it into a recurring series gag. It's one of those few Five Nights at Freddy's details that's funny and not mysterious at all. That contrast is why players still remember it. During Five Nights at Freddy's 4 night gameplay, there's a 1 in 30 chance for a rare background sound like a demonic laughter, demonic breathing, or dog barking. These sounds are easy to confuse with actual survival cues, which makes it even more stressful if you're actually just navigating the atmosphere. The dog bark is especially strange because it doesn't match the bedroom setting directly. These little audio details help the game feel more unpredictable. They also show how Five Nights at Freddy's 4 leans harder on the sounds than the actual cameras. In the Ultimate Custom Night, Tangle, White Rabbit, and Bounce Pot from Five Nights at Freddy's world can appear as tiny animated desk figures with a 1 in 10,000 chance when the player flips the cameras. That should wrap up the 10 minutes. Hope you enjoyed. Comment below any other video ideas you may have because I'm open to suggestions. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.